Hello everyone, and welcome back to some Elden Ring. Here I have, in this video, it is a single, absolutely ridiculous invasion I've had. And if you looked at the time, this is like about a 25-minute video against one of the most comedically evil, but also kind of fair weapon hosts, Dungeon Master. What a good entrance. Yeah, as you can see, this guy's using a faith build. He's got Taunter's Tongue up. I am using a intelligence build with a little bit of extra strength because I like hybrid strength builds. This is at meta-ish level. Yeah, here I'm just struggling against two dudes. However, Mr. White Mask is not. He didn't make it. But we are also already joined by a second red Inquisitor, who is I like him. Unfortunately, I catch him a little bit with the Moonlight Greatsword. I was not intentionally trying to do that. And then Inquisitor is, I like him, but he's a little strange because I want him. I think I wanted him to come try and help, but I don't know if he was like, nah, my code is like 1v1. Like if things start getting out of hand, I will be back, which he does do that, but yeah. So Inquisitor is kind of just like watching, waiting, friendly. He's like letting me have my prey. However, Dungeon Master is kind of ridiculous. Because Inquisitor is just here for a good time. Dungeon Master is here to, like, wreck shop. Again, here I'm just trying to get Inquisitor to come in and help. Dungeon Master doesn't give a rip who he's fighting. He's just, also what a laggy backstab. Thankfully, I know the faith weapons pretty well, because now we have a hunter back, and this is just... So you saw from his set, he's using Blasphemous Blade and has a faith build, which means he has access to a ton of regen and also healing stuff. So has a crazy amount of health, and if you can't tell from the little blue glow, he is using starlight shards, which are effectively 10 free blue flasks. There's a limited number in the game normally, but if you use a cheat engine, you can have a lot of them. Also, he is, I don't know if he's done so already, but he is using bewitching branches on the cleanrot knights, which is crazy. So basically, the cleanrot knights are insanely powerful enemies. Yeah, there's a bewitching branch, but thankfully I recognize this and I help my cleanrot bro out here. And funny enough, his hunter is a cosplay of one of the other cleanrot knights, one of the summons cleanrot knight, Finlay. And yeah, I think they must have been using like drawstring rot grease, because I was wondering. And there I was just like, please don't hit my friend with the Moonlight Greatsword, because here I've been I like magic greatswords. You could probably tell from previous stuff in there he's using Barrier of Gold, but in 1.0 it got a significant nerf. And he's also using Blasphemous Blade, so that every PvE enemy that dies, he ends up getting a health back. So this guy is literally here for the absolutely comedic long haul, and he's already bewitching branched this cleanrot knight. However, I did notice. And thankfully, the Moonlight Greatsword is really good at, well, helping deal with that. And there, I just change off of the fashion talisman because I know that this is going to be a big one. And he barriered of gold with the cleanrot knight. I did not notice that. And there you see Inquisitor, unfortunately, has passed, which stinks. And I am just holding on by a thread. But I do get an amount of health back from Inquisitor dying. Thankfully, Dungeon Master's not using like halberds or anything that's actually really good at chase downs. He's kind of just using the claws, which is weird. And he is standing back. Finlay here and is coming forward. What I'd say a little bit too far is everyone in Elphael should know that bridge is off limits unless you're an invader. Except this guy loves his entrances with Goldbreaker. However, I still have Ballista. And then they just ran out of FP so conveniently. But guess who's back? Inquisitor is back, which is amazing. I think he was just like, I don't know, but I think he knew that this was crazy. I think that was an absolutely deliberate reinvade. So now I got my buddy back here. I am like, I want to help, but I have no flasks, so I'm just using a warming stone and just praying that Inquisitor will hold on long enough for me to get Anim to be able to take a hit. The Blessed Do Talisman is doing work in this invasion. Here Finlay comes again pretty far forward. You always need to watch the sides. And yeah, Mikkel and here I'm just like, oh wait, don't stand under Goldbreaker, because Dungeon Master likes to effectively do airstrikes, but again, it's like he's using the one-eyed shield. He's not even using like Radon's rain, golem arrows. So unfortunately here, I just have to take like another little bit of a little break on the combat front and let the ballista try and do some work. Now here I'm getting a little bit concerned because I know that Dungeon Master has the bewitching branches. So I was concerned initially that he might try and have the ballista come after me. However, Finlay comes around the back and aggroes all of these guys. So here, yeah, I don't think I follow Finlay very far, but I'm just like, okay, the Halig Tree Knights and this guy are all over here. This is our chance to 2v1 Dungeon Master, because Inquisitor is back. And then, of course, here's Dungeon Master, and thankfully he does the smart thing and comes down the ladder. Well, not thankfully, unfortunately, he does the smart thing and comes down the ladder instead of continuing to go up the ladder. And then here comes Inquisitor, and and I don't know if Finlay like killed them, but Finlay is now dead because of the all of the PvE enemies. And here I change over to Loretta's Warsickle because I just this guy knows how to dodge the Moonlight Greatsword, and I need a little bit more reach and chase down ability because he likes to run. And then thankfully though, with Finlay being dead, I get two red flasks and two blue flasks back, and their Dungeon Master is trying to climb on up. And yeah, and remember, this guy has effectively infinite FP because of the 10 starlight shards. What's funny is that we pass each other on the ladder, which I don't know how that works, and he's just kind of sitting there, but I have Night Maiden's Mist to get him to fall on down. So yeah, so as you can see, near infinite FP with those ones, and here's resummoning entirely random people. Like, this guy does not give any feelings towards his phantoms and summons. He's like ganking with all randoms and not even feeling bad about it. I don't know why he changed to the finger there, because it's like, sure, it has some hyper armor, but it's not great. And then here comes Inquisitor to make sure that I don't die. Like, really, what Inquisitor is doing is just making sure that it's a fair fight, which is hilarious, because even though it's not a fair fight because of all of the stuff Dungeon Master is stacking, Inquisitor just keeps coming in clutch, especially with the re-invade. And thank goodness I can dodge the Death Ritual Spear, because that thing would chunk. And again, I'm just out of red flasks. I'm just like always out of red flasks in this invasion because, well, you can tell, but I've played enough of this game that I know where my friends are, and my friends being the cleanrot bros. And then now we are getting in a little bit of cardio. There, I was mostly just making sure that Ashen One was not going to be coming back behind me. Here I have the advantage because Blasphemous Blade does not, well, really nothing likes to fight going downstairs, but Blasphemous Blade really doesn't like to fight going downstairs. And there's Ashen One, because I'm just like, I knew it. It was I could feel it in my soul that he was going to be there. There's another starlight shard. And I really like Night Maiden's Mist. I'm not very good at aiming it or placing it, but I've seen it used in some other content creators' videos, and it is quite nice in terms of just like dealing damage, because I think it kind of like goes through walls a little bit and it does a lot. And there I think he used Blessing of the Erd Tree. Yeah, and because unfortunately for Dungeon Master, me running Strength Faith so much, I know how to handle Blasphemous Blade pretty well, or at least I know to respect the Ash of War. And here we're doing... This loop is a common one because I don't really have an amazing turn and burn, so I am mostly just trying to not die. I think I must have hit Ashen One with Cannon of Hymo there, because I heard the falling sound. But again, just separating them, and yeah. And like, this guy has the ravioli tech, but it's like, and then there's my buddy Inquisitor, who is again like, he's making sure that I am not dead. Sometimes you want someone who's a little bit more efficient. Like, that is my only thing, is like, I wish Inquisitor was a little bit more efficient, but I sincerely, though, I really appreciate all the support, and you can see we're into this now. I'm still just constantly out of health flasks. The host has, probably because using the starlight shards, he probably has 14 crimson flasks, blasphemous blade, effective 10 blue flasks because of the starlight shards, and his wondrous physic. And because he's on faith, playing a faith build, he has access to a ton of regen. So we're fighting a literal boss, and he is summoning and disposing of any and all phantoms that he can find. Like, granted, he's like blasphemous blade is amazing. I love it, but it's not Sleep Halberd, it's not Vikes, it's not the Sword of Saint Trina. Like it, it's like the weapons he's using are pretty fair, and he's not even using like ant spur with rot grease and stuff. And that was just unfortunate because uh, I don't have the health to be doing that. But I was like, ooh, Hunter, free blue flasks, Inquisitor can handle things, and Lion's Claw is enough poised to not get hyper armor to not get pancaked, but not enough to but not enough to I lost my train of thought, because here I'm just like, Inquisitor, come back, I'm out of flasks, please help. And here I'm being very, very cognizant of trying to figure out, yeah, because this guy has snuck through the back before. And here I'm just like, okay, time to run. So, and am I doing a little bit of tactical retreat? And by a little bit of tactical retreat, I mean an absolutely crazy amount of it. Yes, because I don't want to die, and this guy has near infinite resources. So the longer I can at least chew him up, the better. And I trust Inquisitor to handle the hunter. So here we go. Now, if I knew that this was a new game plus version of this dungeon, I may have attempted to brave the rot. However, if it is not a new game plus one, I would get like trudged down really poorly. And I think he just kind of ignored me for the PvE there, which is a choice, because it allowed me to immediately run back this way. Now, granted, he decided to come try and follow me, and I was just like, no, I'm not engaging. I am now on the correct side of can loop you more through the stage. So here I go, and the leaving, well, I can't even say that I left him to the pests, but there I was able to hit Valdus a couple of times, and now I'm just running because I know that Dungeon Master is hot on our heels. Here I'm just like, cannon climate time, and wow, did it break that hyper armor. And here I'm just like, I don't think he's gonna fall for that again. So I was just like, all right, I'll just do a nice loop here. I get hit, still holding on by a thread. He pulls I got lucky there, I think, with the blue, but he, instead of just continuing with the running attacks, he does something very silly and just pulls out like a dagger or something to try and hit me, which again, not super smart in terms of everything. Alright, and since he's immediately here and I know that I can't really take a hit and I'm out of blue juice, I've just got to go. And I think it is, yeah. Here I just take the shortcut so that way I make sure that I am there. And thank goodness I jumped the ballista. I'm not even going to try and stop to poke the hunter, because I know that I am toast if I get hit one more time. Here, I notice this roof, and this is where things start to turn in my favor, because not only is it a little quieter down here, um, if any of you have come down here and died before, you know what's down here. Royal revenants. And not a small number of them. There's like 5, or at least it feels like 5. And that means if someone, if you follow down here, you have to deal with royal revenants. And there is Dungeon Master dealing with royal revenants, and Inquisitor ends up defeating Valdus. So now I get some more flasks back, and I have support. This is a spot where I'm just like, I'm very cautious, because if he gets one of the, if he had a bewitching branch left, then things could get really dicey, because royal revenants are one of the, pretty much, I would argue, one of, if not the strongest non-boss enemies in the entire game. Unfortunately, they can't fit through this door. So now we have a little bit of a little bit of time to sit. Because also this guy's just kind of in the way of the door, and I'm not sure whether or not he can hit me, and I don't want to find out. Unfortunately, I don't think Night Shard doesn't have the range to get through there, so I am just waiting a little bit. Now he drops an item. I'm assuming he's effectively trying, yeah, it's effectively a big trick to try and get me to do that, because like I thought it's a peace thing, maybe, him being like, good job, have a starlight shard, but he's like, no, I'm here to, this is literally just a trick to try and defeat you. And here I change over to the alabaster lord sword, because it can go through walls. So my thought is, if I could get that far enough back in the room, which I just didn't, then I could use alabaster lord's pull to hit him through the wall. And also, he doesn't pick that item up, which is weird. So it could, again, probably just a trick. I have no idea what Inquisitor is doing through this entire part of it, but I feel like he's watching and just making sure things are going through. And I'm pretty sure he turns off, Dungeon Master turns off hunters there, and I think that is to prevent us from getting more flasks. And then I think the Revenant died there. However, Dungeon Master makes his he makes the mistake that loses him this fight. He leaves the room of safety, because now there are royal revenants that can get him. And I'm not sure if like there's just like a desync or something there, or if he used some where Inquisitor is like trying to force him out of there, or if he saw Inquisitor in there or something. But now he's trying to be sneaky and not lure royal revenants. However, they don't care, because as soon as he made any amount of noise, here they are. And again, he doesn't run back to his room. He starts running this way, which, from you can tell from my tone, is a terrible idea. And also from seeing the additional royal revenants on screen is a terrible idea. So the saga is beginning to come to a close as he realizes there are putrid crystallians in this room. And he still has an invader on his heels. And now we can just enjoy that me not really doing anything and all of the moral support of Inquisitor as Dungeon Master dies a horrible, horrible death to something with too many hands. So I hope you enjoyed that marathon. Have a great day, y'all, and I will catch you in the next silly video. See ya.